Hi everyone, I'm going to share with you my famous spaghetti recipe. Here we start out with 1 pound of ground beef, and you take your vegetables, here shown as red pepper, onion, cilantro. In a secondary pot, we're going to bring the water to a boil. Then we're going to mix in and add some oil. It functions as a lubricant to keep the noodles from sticking together. And with this recipe, we're going to use organic noodles. I've chosen to break them in half, and I will layer them across the pan as it boils. You do not have to break them in half, it's really a personal preference. A quick review of the ingredients we've used so far. We have oil, a pound of ground beef, our vegetables, onion, pepper, cilantro. Then we're moving on to our can of diced tomatoes. And for my sauce, I like to use the ragu tomato, garlic, and onion, as I've shown here. We move on to our seasonings. Total seasoning, paprika, ground parsley, onion powder, beef bouillon, and salsa Lizano. And the secret ingredient here is sugar. These are our diced tomatoes, basil, oregano, and garlic. Mix them into your pre-ground beef that you've been working on. I use 2 cans for this recipe. And take your noodles over to the sink. Here, like I said before, I've chosen to break them in half. It's not necessary, whatever the preference is. And then we're just going to layer them across the pan. I like to just take them in my hands and spread them evenly in like a twist pattern. As you have a nice simmer going in the meat mixture, you're going to start adding paprika, garlic salt, celery flakes, complete seasoning, about 2 tablespoons, 3 of each one. Then for the meat, we're going to add a liquid seasoning. We like salsa Lizano. You could also do Worcestershire sauce, whatever you have available. And then here, mix it around very well. Now is the perfect time we can go over to the noodles. I like to stir them around. I like to lift them up from the bottom using a slotted spoon like this. The final 2 seasonings are beef bouillon. We're going to take a spoonful like this and spread it evenly across the meat. And lastly, we're going to get our secret ingredient, which for me is organic sugar. It adds a sweetening effect, and we're going to sprinkle it across the top of the meat evenly until you have an amount that is sufficient for you and your level of taste. Stir all those seasonings and the meat together really well. This is the texture of the meat sauce that we're trying to achieve. The meat and vegetable combination is now ready for our final ingredient, the sauce. This is our first can. Stir down into the meat the first can like I'm showing you here. Then we're going to be ready for our final second can. Finally, let everything simmer and stir for the remaining 3 to 5 minutes, or whatever your preference is. You can let it go a little longer over a low heat. Drain the water from the noodles using a strainer. Return the noodles to the pan after they've been drained. Add a half a stick of butter to moisten the noodles and give them a non-stick quality. The final optional step is to add your favorite seasoning. Here we use complete seasoning across the top of the noodles in a nice even layer, and mix it down into the butter sauce. The finishing touch to the sauce is to add your choice of pepper to balance out the sweet taste of the sugar. Thank you everyone for joining me on the Cooking with Kmart's channel. This is my version of spaghetti sauce. Hopefully you enjoyed this recipe as much as we do as a family. This is how we serve our spaghetti. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe at YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. Goodbye.